Mods. It's the first thing we think of when we get a new off-road vehicle, but mods could be killing the value of your build.
Wait a minute!
Let me explain. As humans, we tend to overcomplicate things. We like to plan for scenarios that might not happen. I saw a perfect example of this recently when I drove several hours to check out a beautiful Land Cruiser. It seemed like it was the perfect off-road build. In the photos, it looked awesome. But when I asked the seller to start it up and they pulled out jumper cables, I knew there was a problem.
No! God, please, no!
This seller had spent countless hours and dollars upgrading this off-road vehicle for scenarios that might never come. Why? He had overlooked the most important thing: basic maintenance. You see, it's easy to get distracted with building the ultimate off-road vehicle. More upgrades, more capability, stronger, faster, better. But for an off-road vehicle to be capable of going into any trail, it has to be able to come out. And that's where reliability comes in. As I took a closer look, I could see this Land Cruiser was struggling under the weight of neglected care. And it drove like it needed much more work than I could handle. Which made me realize, this isn't just a story about mods killing your build value. It's about a deeper problem many of us have. Often we jump straight to upgrades, thinking we're preparing for the future, solving problems we don't yet have, which is smart. We need to plan ahead. In this case, the seller was so focused on making this Land Cruiser ultra capable off-road that he neglected its reliability, leaving it on the market for months without realizing why it wasn't selling. The sad thing is, these Land Cruisers were designed so well that several components could fail and you could still limp your way home. So the seller had really no idea of the ticking time bomb he had on his hands, and that's why no one was buying it. This guy had an ultra capable vehicle that unfortunately had lost a majority of its value because he hadn't invested time in the basics. And here's the thing. This isn't just about vehicles. We often treat our own lives in the same way. We get distracted, upgrading our lives so it's perceived better by others. And we forget about the most important details, the things that keep our engine running. At times, we want to upgrade our life without taking full advantage of what we currently have. And we forget to appreciate what is right in front of us. But the issue goes a bit deeper. We're constantly bombarded with ads and videos of other people's lives. And unfortunately, instead of making us feel good, it makes us feel like what we have isn't enough. Which is why every single video you see has some type of ad, some type of sponsor. Everyone is selling you something. And the constant need for things is a huge problem. And it's something that I struggled with in the past until I decided to simplify my life. I realized that we want more money to buy more things. We buy bigger houses to fit those things, and we work longer hours to afford it all. And in the end, we are working so much that we don't enjoy the little things in our life. The small details that make us truly happy. The original purpose for why we did it in the first place. We sacrifice our health for more money, and in the end, we sacrifice our money to save our health. It's an endless cycle. We get so caught up in the pursuit of upgrades, whether in our life or in vehicles, that we forget the simple truth. What matters most isn't always about having more. It's about taking care of what we already have. Just like that Land Cruiser. Built to endure almost anything, but neglected in the areas that matter most. We often find ourselves chasing the next big thing, preparing for future challenges, while ignoring the maintenance of our everyday lives, our relationships, our health, our spirituality, our well-being. And it's easy to dress things up on the outside, but true strength comes from within, whether it's a vehicle or in our own lives. The foundation must be solid before we think about upgrades. Sometimes the best investment is in maintaining and appreciating what we already have. If we focus on what truly matters, keeping our engine running smoothly, we'll be more prepared for any off-road adventure life throws our way. So instead of seeking the next upgrade, let's remember to pause, reflect, and maintain what matters most. Because in the end, it's not about how things look on the surface, but how well they perform when true challenges arise.